got owned by that intro thing.
Yeah, we did.
I know, that always happens to me last season.
I don't know, I remember you telling me how carriers are actually not very effective on this map.
No, well, they're not. They can be, but the problem is that on this map, the middle is so open that if you're going to go around with the carriers, you usually want the carriers to be next to ridges so you can escape very quickly to different locations. And on this map, the middle's so open that you end up hugging the corners with the carriers, and that just gives the Terran map control. Terran can go wherever they want.
See, and there's our Protoss player right there. He doesn't look like he wants to kill anything anymore.
Yeah, man, he looks like he's chilled out a little bit.
Alright, here are the stats for Andromeda, so you guys can see here.
Protoss don't seem to be having too much of a hard time. This is definitely an Arbiter map. And it's also definitely a macro map. Very turtle-friendly for the Terran. We do see a lot of early armory build orders executed on a map like this one.
So, you know, Nick, you're a Protoss player.
I am. I'm from IR.
Right? If this was you playing, exactly, I know you just said what you would have done, but I mean, what do you think this guy's going to do? Do you think he'll still go the same route? Do you think he'll push faster?
There's actually so many good build orders you can do. Proxy gating in the middle of the map is pretty strong and pretty easy to recover from. I was actually about to say this, and I think he's going to do it right now. At a fast Nexus, you take the Nexus at this mineral spot, and you can defend your at that ramp pretty easily. And also, you know, Terran can't really rush in there and do that much damage early on with that. One thing to watch out, though, for this build, though, because I've experienced it firsthand, is that they can get any ranged unit on low ground, and if they can get a floating building over there, they can attack your probes from there. So, honestly, I don't always do this build on this map. I usually just do a pretty standard opening, and then, like, you know, one gateway opening, kind of like what we saw in that last game. But he's going to go with something like this. He's probably feeling pretty safe. So we'll see if Terran does the correct counter.
You know, so far, all the games have been 2-0.
Yeah, in this entire tournament that we've casted has been 2-0.
And so what I'm thinking is, being that, you know, most of these players are not taking the time out for the replay, you know, once they win, I think they just kind of get a feel for their opponent and know how to steamroll them.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Well, it feels really good when you win a match like this. You know, everybody's watching, everybody thinks they're good, assuming that both players played well. And sometimes the other players are so stressed out from that last loss that they just fall apart. We'll see, though, what happens this game. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. And for those of you guys who missed our great announcement earlier, I can't even say it, Averatec-Intel Classic, our Season 2, has been KESPA sanctioned, which is a great ordeal. I mean, I know we said that earlier, but just in case you guys are now tuning in and haven't heard our announcement, yes, this is a KESPA sanctioned tournament. And so every single thing that these guys are doing, every win, it will be recorded. Yeah.
So this goes onto their permanent record, so to speak, which is pretty big.
Like we're in school or something.
That's right. It's going to go on your permanent record. My teachers always used to tell me that. And then I found out there's no such thing as a permanent record. I can't believe they traumatized me like that.
There isn't?
There's no such thing as a permanent record when they tell you that in school. There's, well, your grades, I guess, but there's no such thing that's actually called the permanent record.
See, I guess your grades are like your stats in a way.
Yeah, it's true. Now, I think Protoss is building a pylon over there. He may want to hide tech over there. He may just be using that as a spotter in case a dropship flies through. He gets a few seconds more to react. Terran going to fast expand onto the low ground.
Alright, he definitely did not see those units heading down to his base. Kind of just missed them.
Now, Terran isn't going to get a really good idea of what's going on. He might not actually realize that his opponent's fast expoed. And the Terran can probably guess that there's going to be a floating command center, because that's just a pretty standard build on this map. Protoss may opt to make another Nexus on the low ground now after he spots the Terran expanding. Because if you get the fast Nexus up and you get it going for about a minute or two, it's very difficult for Terran to do anything to you. So you suddenly get like so much more income.
I'm kind of excited. You know, red seems to be the color of the day. I would actually kind of like to see Barracks maybe pull off a win.
Yep. That would be nice, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Barracks is playing pretty standard right now. Terran don't have a ton of options on this map. Now, Protoss gets the observers out pretty late because of this build, and that's pretty significant because you really want to see what the Terran's doing. And with a build like this, you're just focusing on just getting a big economy, but you're not focusing on intelligence. Now, I think, okay, yeah, Terran is going to make that other Nexus because he does realize that his opponent is now expanding. Protoss always want to be ahead in expansions. I mean, obviously, you always want to be ahead in expansions in any matchup, but I mean, the way the metagame works, the Protoss usually are ahead in expansions. Now,
why is that?
Because Terran, well, the way the units spend money and the way the income works and stuff. Okay, hold that thought actually, but I will talk about that in a minute. But it looks like Protoss is going to rush in here. How does HerO manage to do this? He just like walks in there and kills you. All right, well now he might be able to back off a little bit, take out the turret, or not. Just rush in there, took out the tank, and looks like Terran should manage to drive this out by just leapfrogging his tanks. It would have been nice if he had gotten that refinery, though, because that would slow down the amount of tanks Terran gets. Yeah, the reason why Protoss generally are ahead in expansions is because just the way, how much their units cost, the rate at which they build. Terran, you know, the tanks, they're very expensive and stuff. And, you know, the whole way the metagame works, Protoss, it's pretty much their burden to just take the whole map. They kind of almost function like Zerg in this matchup. They just take the whole map, make lots of units, and wait for the Terran to attack. The Terran in both Terran versus Zerg and Terran versus Protoss, their burden in the matchup is to sit back and build an army and then decide when and where to attack. Factories coming up now for the Protoss. Excuse me, for the Terran. That would be weird if the Protoss were making factories. Now, it's also a burden for the Protoss to contain the Terran because the Terran is pretty much watching their opponent and trying to figure out, okay, is he expanding too much? Does that mean I can attack now? Or is he expanding too little, which means he probably has a big army at the moment? So he always keeps them surrounded so that he can kill a scouting SCV so that he can't spot that. Now, he is getting a Stargate, and generally, if you see a Stargate and they've got Reavers, which he's also getting, early on, that usually means he's going to get carriers. So I'd be pretty surprised if he gets carriers. But if we see a Templar Archives come up here pretty soon, then he might actually end up going for Arbiters instead, which I think would be safer. Now, Protoss is taking the island, so once again trying to maintain the expansion advantage here. Now, with the Reaver build, it's really easy to keep the island safe. That's why a lot of times you see pro gamers, when they get Reavers, they almost always expand to an island because it's really easy to defend an island with a Reaver. And here we're going to see a drop now. And I don't think that Scarab's going to work. That Scarab has much disorder. And I think, oh, he's going to do it again. No, he's not. He's going to go for carriers, okay. Could be a risky move, but it might work off. He has to do some damage, though, with that attack. With this Reaver, at least.
Yeah. I'm thinking he's probably thinking, you know, it worked last time.
Yeah. Well, if he can, okay, he's doing a little bit of damage there. That was great. He might even do it again.
God, that's so good.
The thing is that if he just forces the Terran to move SCVs around, the SCVs aren't mining. That hurts his economy. But I don't know about the carrier decision. It might not work, you know, because he, Terran's economy isn't like totally destroyed like the last game. He may even use the Reaver to just take... Whoa! Excuse me, I thought there was only a Reaver in there. And now he's just going to take one more shot, so the Reaver can take some extra hits and get out of there before the turret finishes. Well, Protoss is looking pretty good. He's upgrading air attack, you can see there. And he's going to be getting the Citadel soon. Well, it'll be finishing soon. Now, Terran seems to be aware that carriers are on the way. He's already getting Goliaths. A few vultures are sneaking by here. And he needs to block this! Well, that Zealot is a quitter. Now he's going to get a lot of probes here. This is going to do a lot of damage here. Oh my God, he's doing it again. Protoss is all in right now. I think this might actually work, though. Not a lot of tanks here unless we're not getting a shot at him. The vultures have dealt enough damage. Here comes... Man, HerO is really smart. He just knows exactly when he can just rush in here and counter. He's going to take out a lot of SCVs here. However, I don't know. I think Protoss still might be more behind, looking at stuff in the long run. However, Terran's tank count has been greatly reduced, and now the carriers are going to be pretty viable. Because the ground units with the carriers are just so strong. Excuse me, so strong. And if Protoss sends the rest of his units that are in his main down there, they could deal a lot of damage. I mean, just a ton of damage. And I think that's what he's going to do. He may regroup and attack again. He really should have put probes in that expansion. That's pretty sloppy. Excuse me, sorry guys, I'm still a little bit sick. Alright, well it looks like Terran has managed to recover. Protoss may have taken a serious blow to his economy. Not just because of all those vultures, but because he's not really using that island expansion, which is pretty sloppy, if I may say so myself.
Alright, we do here have 4 carriers. He still has 20 goons, though I don't see where.
You know, Terran's going to expand again. You can see he's making another command center. And the carriers once again regroup. Now remember, the Terran tank count's been reduced, so that may make it difficult to push. You generally get a whole bunch of tanks at the start and then add a bunch of vultures and Goliaths later on. Barracks will be taken down. He's in the no-fly zone. No-float zone. There's the Panda Bear guy. I missed him. You see, he doesn't want to let any more vultures get in there. He's going to put some cannons up. I do believe Protoss almost has a complete tech tree. Well, now take a look at this. The carriers are coming in. It looks like one's going to be taken out. Whoa. Totally surrounded here. Protoss may go in for the big attack again. Only 4 tanks, and they're right in the front. The Zealots will make quick work of that. I think that's going to be it. And this is just not looking good. I think that, once again, it's a serious blow to HerO. And, see, with the tanks, I mean, and the Goliaths in such small numbers, it's very difficult to fight off the combination of units. And oh! Okay, mine didn't do anything. False alarm. Well, it's going to be almost impossible for Terran to use that extra command center. And yeah, more harassment going on over here. Terran can't get out of his base. Protoss pretty much has control of the game. And Looks like the turret won't be saved. Sorry, SCV. Gotta be careful. That is a lot of Goliaths. But you know, when the Zealots and Dragoons there too, the Goliaths just aren't quite as strong. You know, it's Vultures that really tear down Zealots, and when you don't have Vultures, the Goliaths are good, but they're just not as good as Vultures are when it comes to fighting ground units, especially Zealots. +2 attack, +1 armor. But I don't know how handy that upgrade is going to be with Protoss having an army advantage. He could probably snipe the refinery. I think that's what he's going to try to do. And, you know, when you're harassing someone with carriers, if you just snipe their gas, the refinery, over and over and over again, and keep taking it out, they don't have a lot of gas in the long run to make the Goliath. It really hurts them. And you can see that even though carriers aren't too terribly strong on this map, Protoss is doing a pretty good job of utilizing them. And once again, Protoss is going to expand. I don't know if that's even safe to have the command center there. Templar Archives. And he may attack again. Here we go. Moving in here with the carriers. Probably going to go after the tanks. Or at least it would be smart to. But there's so many Goliaths. And it looks like he's losing a lot of interceptors. But he is managing to pick off those 2 tanks with those carrier shots. That actually might have been a big blunder here. We'll see, though. It's hard to tell how many units Terran has because there might be more in the main. Fantastic job here by the Protoss. He does manage to take out that tank, making the Dragoons very strong. But I think Terran may barely manage to hold on to this. Not clear. There are just so many Protoss units. He's doing a great job controlling those carriers, though. Bear that in mind. And now you can just target fire these tanks again. Dragoon's dealing a lot of damage here with the tanks. And I'm pretty sure that Protoss is probably remacroing another army. I don't think there's any hope for Terran right now. He should really just snipe that refinery real fast. Because even if this attack doesn't work, then it's like, oh man, Templars too.
Wow, Templars too. And a Reaver.
He's got everything. All he needs now is like Arbiters or something and a Dark Archon. And he would have everything in the game. They never knew how close they were to death. He might have forgotten Storm, so he's going to make some Archons. And wow, I mean, Terran beat back the Protoss. It doesn't really matter, though. Unfortunately, this is a pretty slow and steady win here for HerO both games.
Valiant effort, though.
Yeah, no kidding. And these SCVs are going to get out of here before HerO comes in there again and tries to kill him. That is, okay, you can just see the Terran is just totally not able to focus here because he has way too many idle SCVs. Fortunately for the Panda Bear guy, the Vulture Mines do not get set off by Panda Bear guys, so that's good. There's one win for Barracks. He did kill the probe. +2 attack on the carrier is pretty good. Now here it comes. I do believe this is going to be the killing blow, unless I'm mistaken. We could see some storms blanketed here. Another fantastic storm. And yeah, that's going to be it, man. I expect GG any second. I don't think there's anything that can be done to stop this guy. Yeah, there it is. Good game. Well played by HerO. He's very, very strong. Wow.
Oh, so that's another 2-0 game.
That's another 2-0 game.
Yeah.
Very one-sided game. I am pretty impressed, though, with how our Protoss player played back there. carrier is not always that strong in Andromeda, but he used them well with his army. He did get that economic advantage by doing the fast expansion build. Terran did not really go for any type of harassing build, so there really wasn't very much Terran could do about it. Well, we got some more games coming up here. There's your picture, HerO. Probably looking pretty happy about that game.
He's a pretty good-looking guy, too.
Yeah. And he is now going to be moving on in the tournament. So well done to him. Congratulations, HerO. And now we're going to be moving on to the third game. Harry and Endless. Harry, definitely the favorite there. But, you know, who knows? We don't really know much about Endless. He's very new.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
we don't.
So, I don't know.
And again, you know, I had mentioned this earlier with the other two, but KTF does have a new coach, and it really depends on how the coach wants you to practice and what you have to do. And Samsung Khan, you know, they're tried and true. They kind of had their own thing going, and that's where Endless is. So you know what? He might have veterans helping him practice. He could have like you know the steady, they know what to do to win kind of thing. So that could just be one of the deciding factors. I don't know, you know, and I don't know. I kind of like rooting for the underdog every single one of these games.
Yeah, it'd be great if Endless managed to take out Harry. And, you know, you just don't know. We don't really know much about Endless's style. We don't really know if he's clutch. We don't know. So we'll find out soon enough. Harry's a pretty seasoned player, though. He's not the best out there, but he's definitely very seasoned.
No, he actually came on the scene in 2004. That says a lot. That means, you know, he's practiced. He's seen a lot of different players come and go. He's seen, you know, he's had different teammates that we know of in KTF. And so, yeah. We'll see. Is it going to be veteranship versus brand new, unknown player?
We'll find out very soon. I think we're going to be closing it up here in a minute. We're going to go on a quick break, give you some Korean commercials, because those are very necessary for Korean StarCraft tournaments.
Yes. And you guys might ask, you know, there's the same commercials over and over again sometimes, and that's because, you know, they are the sponsors, and that's where we make our money from. So
we're also trying to make people go crazy.
Enjoy those Korean commercials.
And I think we're going to be winding up here any second now, but don't go anywhere. We're only halfway through today's events, and I think next week we're going to be doing this again on Thursday.
No, actually we cast again Sunday.
Sunday, that's right. But then another.
And then on Thursday of next week, and that's when we'll see all of the ace players, because Friday is a national holiday here in Korea, so they get to go home. Thus, they get to leave a day early and come play for our tournament. So definitely don't miss that. Next Thursday, Boxer will be there.
Boxer will be there.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
Be there. I'm a big fan of Slayer's Boxer. He was one of the people that got me into StarCraft when I watched him play, so that'll definitely be really cool too. Another TVP coming up in just a little bit. And finally, we're going to have Go Rush against Migu at the end. So, I think we're winding up. Don't go anywhere.